Got to keep your space. Yeah. Got to keep your space. Let's get to meteorologist Rebecca Stevenson. For the rest of us who aren't going to be up at the mountain, we're going to soak in a little sun over the next few days.
Yes, the next couple of days are going to be stunning. You know, today I saw 3 eagles soaring above. They were just kind of swirling in the the warm air that was rising. And I looked close, and the biggest one that was the farthest away had the white head. It was a full-out bald eagle, and I think they were the 2 youngsters, the junior chicks that were with the bald eagle, showing it how to fish and how to fend off crows flying around and attacking. But yeah, it's a good couple of days here to get outside and see some sights. We've got a gorgeous day ahead tomorrow. Today we've been getting a nice sunset. Now the sun has already set. It's set at 8:54 p.m. this evening at SeaTac, and Everett at Payne Field has been seeing some pretty colors here. Nice pinks and corals in the background. In downtown Seattle, still seeing that shadow of Mount Rainier in the background, looking at towards CenturyLink and T-Mobile Field, and also across the Great Wheel. Now, temperatures today, pretty comfortable, if not downright warm. Wishkah hit 81 degrees. It's already 63 degrees now at Wishkah. Darrington hit 80 and it hit 78 in Redmond. Many of us had a beautiful day, and now we're cooling into the upper 50s to mid 60s, with 63 in Seattle at 65 for Renton, and Tacoma, you're 62 degrees right now. Wind coming out of the north. You might have noticed it got a little bit breezy late today, so that'll keep us mostly clear overnight tonight. With that north wind continuing 10 to 20 miles an hour, your temperatures are going to be cooling down in the low to mid 50s, so a pretty mild night overnight tonight. Looking at the satellite, you can see high pressure in control, but it's not completely clean high pressure. You can see the clouds kind of drifting over the top of it. Well, Thursday and Friday both benefit from high pressure, keeping us dry, keeping us warm. But the whole next stretch of a week or so, this big trough of low pressure is going to be hanging out in the Pacific Ocean, and it's going to get a little bit closer to us at times. We're actually going to have an instigator to start some rainfall on Saturday, and that's an area of low pressure that right now is all the way offshore waters of Mexico. But that's going to be shooting right up into North California and into our neck of the woods by the time we hit Saturday night. Partly sunny skies in the mountains tomorrow. Your pass highs in the mid 60s to the low 70s. High temperatures tomorrow, mid to upper 70s. We will have some low 80s around the South Sound for Olympia especially. And as you go to tomorrow in Seattle, we'll hit 77, mostly sunny skies, and our 7-day forecast showing that we'll continue with the sunshine and temperatures getting in the upper 70s to low 80s again on our Friday. Saturday, there's that little random low pressure that comes up, drizzle in the morning, cloudy skies, much cooler temperatures, and the rain moves in as we get into Saturday afternoon and night. And it wraps up Sunday morning, and we'll get right back to some nicer weather again. Not quite as warm, but we'll be in the upper 60s to low 70s. So right about normal for the time of year anyway. So it looks like a good stretch to get outside and stretch your legs.
Yeah, just unfortunate timing on the weekend, but all in all, a pretty nice forecast. Rebecca, thank you.
Yeah.